Dr. Shelton, explain a little bit further your amendment.
Yes, sir. As you know, there are three types of contracts within public schools.
Yes.
And this section that was within SB 8 deals only with continuing contracts. And in the current law, which is struck in by SB 8, says that reductions, if they are necessary, will be made in the reverse order of seniority. So this is the last in, first out provision that is struck in from the law in SB 8. And instead of that, which is already out on SB 8, it adds that they are primarily based upon teacher appraisals administered under Section 21.35 to the law. And as you know, that is the PDAS system, which is the teacher appraisal system, which is in place at this time.
So that we're all clear. Your amendment allows the school districts to take out your more experienced teachers. So teachers who have been there, for example, 20 years, under your amendment, those teachers can be let go for less experienced teachers.
Under the continuing contracts, that is possible, but it would also mean that the school districts would have to decide between a teacher who's been there for 20 years and one who may have been there for 18 years.
Well, I understand that. I just want to make sure that we understand the full import of your amendment, and that is if you have a senior teacher, and it doesn't matter whether that senior teacher happens to be whomever, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. Your amendment says seniority does not matter.
No, actually, that is in SB 8 itself.
But
what my amendment does, as I explained, it changes the reductions if they are necessary based on teacher appraisals under current appraisal system.
Right, which means seniority does not matter, right?
Seniority can be taken into effect by the school district, but it is not as a only criteria. Under current law, that is the only criteria.
Right, I understand. So under your amendment, for example, if you've got a teacher that's been there for 20 years and you've got one that's been there for 1 year, the school district can eliminate that teacher that's been there for 20 years.
If they choose to do that, and the way the amendment is worded, it says primarily based upon teacher appraisal.
I understand. I just like to talk in simple terms. I'm just a simple person with a simple understanding. So I just want to make sure that I understand it. If a teacher's been there for 20 years and one teacher's been there for 1 year, your amendment allows the school district to eliminate the teacher that's been there 20 years if they so desire based on whatever appraisal that they are doing.
The appraisal is the appraisal system that's already in current law, and any reductions will be made by the appraisal system.
Well, I understand. Again, simple terms, I'm a simple person. Teacher been there for 20 years, one teacher been there for 1 year. Under your amendment, the school district, based on an appraisal, can eliminate the teacher that's been there 20 years.
If they are performing, the school may.
I understand people are arguing about merit and real world and all of that. I'm just simple, okay? We're changing the status quo, and I just want to keep it simple. And again, I put forth the question. Teacher been there 20 years. One been there 1 year. Under your amendment, school district can eliminate the teacher that's been there 20 years.
Under the current law, it's only on the basis of seniority for teachers on continuing contracts. And under SB 8, with this amendment, it will be on the basis of appraisal.
Is the answer to my question yes?
It is possible the school district could choose to do that.
It is possible that under my example, a 20-year teacher could be shown the door versus the teacher that's been there 1 year.
If the school district chooses to do that under the appraisal
I got you. I just want to add that Dr. Shelton, the only thing I'm just trying to get a good understanding. I know we're eliminating the contracts as it relates to teachers. I know we're eliminating, for example, looking at the minimum salary schedule. We're doing away with that for teachers. And now we're dealing with the seniority for teachers. I got all of that. Now, I thought we were dealing with the financial burden of the state and the fact that we were cutting back on the money we were giving to the schools. But now I just want to be very clear. Teachers are at the center of the target here. And we are attacking them left, right, doesn't matter whether they are conservative teachers, liberal teachers, progressive teachers, just the fact that they are teachers. We are coming at the teachers. And your amendment just says, under the status quo, if seniority exists, if they've been there for a while, then they've got some protection. But under your amendment, this House, this legislature is simply saying seniority just doesn't matter. Now let me ask, if we're going to do this for teachers, do you think we need to have a seniority system for legislators as well? Well, seniority should not matter. Fair enough. Would you say, Dr. Shelton, that if there are some people that have been on some committees, if we did an appraisal, hold it. Would you accept an amendment that we should impose the same system on this legislative process as it relates to committees as we are imposing on our teachers? Because this is my view, Dr. Shelton. Before you start getting rid of seniority,
If teachers are doing a good job, they should do okay under this amendment.
Well, if legislators are doing good jobs, they shouldn't have to worry about seniority either.
Well, this is not about seniority in the legislature.
Well, it should be, because
if we're going continuing contracts and contracts.
But if we're going to do to teachers, we shouldn't impose any more on teachers than what we are willing to impose on ourselves.
Well, I would accept that amendment, Mr. Turner, to eliminate seniority from the legislature.
Then let me prepare an amendment and let me put it down there.
I don't think it will be germane.
Well, would you not want it to be germane? Seem like we'd rather protect ourselves. We don't have any problems doing whatever we want to do to teachers. But legislators will do everything to protect themselves. And before we start doing unto teachers, maybe we need to fix our own house. Maybe we need to fix our own system before we start dealing with teachers in this legislature. I view your amendment as well as Senate Bill 8, Dr. Shelton, with all due respect.
Mr. Turner, we do not have permanent seniority in this House. We stand for election every 2 years.
Excuse me?
We do not have seniority in this House because we have to stand before the voters every 2 years. We have a 2-year term contract.
Dr. Shelton, we have seniority in this House. This House is based on seniority. It's based on seniority. Committee assignments are based on seniority in large part. It's based on seniority. I know it's getting a little touchy now. But the point is, before you start dealing with the teachers, I think we need to fix what's happening in this House first before we start dealing with the teachers and their House. I view your amendment as hostile on teachers as well as Senate Bill 8, with all due respect.